Hey guys, and welcome to Diabetic 365. And today we have a very special guest, Liz. She has been type 2 diabetic, and also she has been, having this hypothyroidism, PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, and also she has been in and out of depression. And she's going to share all the experiences she had as a diabetic, and also with all these complications. Hey Liz, welcome to the show.
Hi.
So, can you please tell us when were you first diagnosed? What was it like, and what was your age at that time, and your experiences from then on?
Well, I was diagnosed with diabetes on November 17th of 2009. I had just turned 33 years old at the time, and I think I was pretty much just sort of really shocked when I was diagnosed. It took me a long time to really absorb what was going on. It certainly made me feel guilty about having cake on my birthday, you know what I mean? I had just had my birthday on November the 11th, and then I just got diagnosed. So, it was just a great moment of worry. Like you're just all of a sudden concerned, oh my gosh, what's going to be my life from this point on?
Exactly.
And, so, at that moment, it really just, I think I started just going with taking care of myself without really thinking much about it, and I just didn't really come to until much later. So it was kind of a delayed response for me.
Mm-hmm. So, one coincidence we both have is my birthday is also on November 11th. So, apart from that, when did you have this hypothyroidism?
Hypothyroidism, that one I think is a little harder to pin down. I think that I have had that condition since I was a child. I would pinpoint it at maybe 5 or 6 years old, but I was not officially diagnosed until I was about 15 years old. Mm-hmm. And it started a very big pattern of things for me. I gained a lot of weight. Like it just seemed like overnight. I was a very thin child, and I gained like maybe over the course of time, like maybe 1 or 2 years, I gained about 80 pounds. And I started having no energy at all. No energy. I didn't want to go out and play with friends. I was very cranky and very moody. I turned into a very terrible couch potato. I would come home from school and I would lay on the sofa in my uniform, and I wouldn't want to change. I wouldn't want to move until it was time to go to bed, and then the next day my mother would have to dress me in bed to go to school because I had no energy. I couldn't focus in school. My hair got all wiry and really bad. So it was just really bad. And my sister at that time, she had just recently graduated, from University of Iowa. She became a medical technologist, and she saw some changes in me, and she decided, I think there might be something wrong with that girl. So she decided to run some tests. And that's when they discovered that I had severe hypothyroidism, very severe hypothyroidism. I believe a maximum TSH level at that time. They change it every once in a while. At that time, it was 4. I had mine at like around 150, so I was completely non-functional. If you know what I mean. And around that same time, I was also diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which has a lot of the very, very similar symptoms to hypothyroidism. Just some hair loss, really dry skin, really coarse hair, facial hair started coming in, and loss of periods. I started not having regular periods anymore, and weight gain. So weight gain and depression, those were all, symptoms of those diseases. And I think I could pinpoint that depression started maybe to around when I was about 11 or 12 years old.
So, you think that your diabetes complications are even made worse due to hypothyroidism and PCOS?
Well, I think the PCOS itself led to the diabetes. It is considered to be, like one of the symptoms, or if you would, complications of PCOS. I think sometimes I have issues with control and blood sugars when it comes to, if I'm having a cyst burst in my ovary and there's a lot of pain, and around my period, I always have worse blood sugar control. It just becomes harder and harder to manage. The hypothyroidism hasn't entirely been, I think, very bad for me with my diabetes, but I do know that there are some folks that the dosage that they take of levothyroxine may affect how much insulin they might take, or if their numbers drop, or if they get really high, so they might have to adjust their medication needs to that.
So your hypothyroidism led to a lot of weight gain, and that triggered type 2 diabetes.
Yes. Yes.
So, so from then on, how did you make this as a whole lifestyle change, to take care of your diabetes?
Well, I had to come to a point of understanding about how my body was operating from this point on. People that have hypothyroidism, more so people that have polycystic ovarian syndrome, that condition is believed to be a problem of insulin. Insulin that's not working right, insulin that's constantly pouring itself into your body. So that insulin slowly starts bathing the ovaries, and the ovaries start making excessive androgen, and all that excessive insulin makes you gain weight. So I had to really cut back on all of the heavy starches and really heavy carbohydrates, because my body wasn't going to be able to just properly handle digesting them. So I've had to, slowly incorporate a lot of exercise into my life, and a lot of non-starchy vegetables, and a lot of fiber. Just really cutting back on those major starches that would trigger that sudden massive dose of insulin, to come into my body, make me gain weight, perhaps cause me some reactive hypoglycemia issues. So I've just had to do that, and I did it one step at a time. You just, baby steps. You focus on one little thing, and you do that until it becomes a habit, and then you add another little thing into your life, and it becomes easier and easier to manage, versus doing it all in one bulk. It might be overwhelming.
So
such a change, yeah.
So the basic things you have changed is, one is diet, going on more healthy vegetables and more fiber stuff, and the second one is incorporating exercise into your daily life. So how long have you done this, and when did you see the results?
Well, I started making these kinds of changes, as soon as I came home from the doctor's office. I just decided I really need to find out more information about this and get on the ball with this. For someone who's starting out, there really is a lot of great and useful information out there on the internet. There's some good, reliable sites for that. And I just started making changes right away. My father had this condition too, and he died from diabetic-related complications. So I really did not want to miss any time at all in taking care of this. So I started right away, and I started seeing results. Blood sugar-wise, I could tell you that it took me about 4 weeks to see better numbers. In 3 months, I went from an A1C of 10.5% to 5.5%.
That's very good.
And I would say I've lost about 80 pounds total. I've kind of been stable around that weight. It took me about 7 or 8 months to accomplish that.
80 pounds?
80 pounds. Yes.
Yes, you have achieved this success on your health only due to discipline. So, can you give us some of the tips that you followed, or things you did to put yourself in line with discipline?
Tips that help me get in line with discipline are just sort of some common sense things that I discovered through trying to be more self-aware of my body. Mm-hmm. I think if we turn off the distractions when we eat, turn off the TV, put down the newspaper or the computer or the cell phone or whatever, that it'll help you get more in touch with what your body really wants. So I really started noticing that I just don't enjoy soda. Mm-hmm. I drink water, and water really helps me not only feel my body's hunger signals, but it helps me not feel hunger as much during the day. It makes me feel healthy and satisfied to have water on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. Other things that I have noticed is that, okay, so there are some foods out there that are tempting. You have your cake, your pie, or whatever, chocolate, or whatever might be tempting to people. Mm-hmm. But, nowadays, I look at those foods and I don't think, oh, gee, if only I could have that. I think, oh, gee, if I have that, I'm going to feel really awful, mm-hmm. Because the minute I have a lot of those foods, I just end up feeling so terrible mm-hmm. that I don't enjoy myself. I don't enjoy whatever situation it is I'm in, and I don't want that anymore. So it's enough of a...
And also, you have changed a lot of things to be more physically fit and, look good or, be healthy. But yes. When it comes to depression, it's kind of a mental thing. So how did you come over this mental depression?
Depression is kind of a hard animal to manage. You sort of have to promise yourself to just do like one thing a day and hope that it'll start snowballing into more things. Mm-hmm. I did a few things. I also saw this motto somewhere. I'm not really sure where I saw it, but I saw this motto that, a certain shoe company, their motto is just do it, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the motto that I saw was shut up and just do it. Don't think about it, just do it. So that's the war in my mind, the constant thoughts telling you things, telling you that you're going to fail, telling you not to do it. So if I just tell all of that, shut up, I'm just going to do it and not think about it, it becomes a little easier for me to do it. Yeah, so it's been a lot of that, and let me tell you, just, eating healthy, even if it's just one meal a day that you start out with, eating healthy, and trying to, have at least, one walk around the block or a little more a day, having some healthy omega-3 fats, those can do so much for improving your mood. Mm-hmm. I have been on medications for depression before in the past, and I can tell you that they don't do nearly enough for me as good exercise, nutrition, and healthy fats in my diet.
So thank you so much, Liz, for being on the show and sharing your experiences and all this subjects. And you have a very healthy, happy life. And thank you so much. You take care.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night.